Joining me now, Republican House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy. Good to have you with us, and let's turn to the Postmaster General. This is quite a mess, and the left, the radical Dems, are trying to make as much of it as they can. It's really quite something. Your thoughts about all that's unfolding, including hearings in the House, the Senate, and Mitch McConnell apparently doesn't run the Senate anymore, at least not in the interest of either the Republican Party or the President of the United States.
Well, there's nothing the Democrats won't politicize. First the pandemic, now they're trying the mail offices. I mean, think about it. If you listen to the convention last night, they have no message for America. So they rely on misinformation and mailbox myths. You have now the postmaster who has actually run businesses successfully, made them efficient, and the Democrats are complaining about things that had happened during the Obama administration. So the postmaster literally said decisions that he did not make, he is making sure they're stopped between now and the election. There is more than enough money in the post office to run it throughout the election. But you got Nancy Pelosi, who won't focus on the American economy, so you got President Trump having to take it into his own hands to care for the people who are unemployed, to make sure our businesses stay open. But Nancy will not even have a vote. She wants to politicize it right before the Republican convention.
Well, it's politicized. It is clear that she is interested in only one thing, and that is winning the election. And one can understand the motivation, but the other is absolute disregard for millions of people in this country who are dependent upon that stimulus, and to simply defer it is a disaster for the radical Dems, and they can't play it any differently. There is no way to spin this in any other way.
You are right, Lou. Think of every time this president has worked to help the American public after China has lied to the world. Remember in the first bill that he worked for the CARES Act, Pelosi held that up for more than a week for funding for the Kennedy Center. Or when that small business program, PPP, was working so successfully that it needed more money, she stood in front of her refrigerator and said no to all the small business employees. Now she's doing the exact same thing to everybody who's unemployed. Or what about liability protection for the schools or financial for the schools? She's holding it up, but calling all of Congress back to work on something that doesn't need to happen. The post office has more than enough money to carry everything out, and the postmaster said there'll be no changes.
Well, they're going to posture, the radical Dems, that this is about liability for corporations and their employees coming back to work. That's the way they're going to play it. What is going to be the response? Because there are millions of people out there right now concerned about their health and the responsibility of corporate employers.
The people who are most concerned are schools and small businesses. Those are the ones the trial lawyers are suing. Those are the ones that the Democrats with Nancy Pelosi are defending. In our very first bill, when we tried to get liability protection for 3M to sell us more masks that were so desperately needed at that moment, Nancy Pelosi said no. And when you think about it, the Democrats have a real China problem. They will not admit that China created this virus. They will not help us defeat it in that manner. And our own FBI, I read in a newspaper, says China wants President Trump to lose. Why? Because he's been strong against China. What we really need to do is help this president make America great again, renew the American dream, restore our way of life, and rebuild the biggest economy ever before. That's why people need to go to takethehouse.com to make sure we retire Nancy Pelosi and her politicizing of every policy for the future.
Even as Mitt Romney, Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham are working to avoid supporting this president, and in fact, in many cases, working dead straight against him. Your reaction to their posture?
Look, I've watched Mitch McConnell. I've worked with him a lot of times, sitting in the room with Mark Meadows and others. He's got a very strong front. The difficulty here are the rules in the Senate, where you got to have 60 votes to do anything. What we really need is a House majority. That's why you go to takethehouse.com, retire Nancy Pelosi, and you know what the House would be doing? We wouldn't be voting by proxy. Members of Congress wouldn't get to stay home and get their paychecks. We wouldn't be coming back for politicizing something. We'd be coming back to rebuilding this economy. We would help those who are unemployed. We'd make sure the schools were safe for the children and also for the teachers.
Yeah, could we get a twofer deal here, Kevin? Could we get rid of Pelosi and
Sure.
McConnell? Can that work? Is there some, okay, all right. Just wanted to negotiate that deal if I could. Kevin McCarthy, always great to have you with us. Thanks so much.